Me, Gladelia. Ah, it's chilly in here. We've fallen back to snow for a day or two and then. Gladelia, oh, I miss snow. Me, stunned silence. Gladelia, laughter, well, we had snow on the mountain tops but Africa wasn't big on having large snowfalls. You could get them in Britain when I lived there. On Meta we have no snow at all. We have relatively little precipitation for that matter. Me, how does that work? Gladelia, it has to do with the sun. Have you never wondered why your sun is so large yet you still have cold zones upon your planet? Me, they say the Earth moves up and down and parts of the planet face away from the sun. Gee, well, that's not really true. Me, it does make me wonder why it could ever get cold on this planet with the sun being so close, when you think about it. Or why it's even cold on Mars. It shouldn't be cold, should it? Gee, no. It shouldn't. Me, so here I go asking sun-type questions of you instead of Akon, who was getting frustrated at trying to explain things to me that I couldn't understand. Gee, laughter, he is a sweet man, really. Me, I know he is. I miss him. But he's such an advanced scientist and I'm still proud I got a 90% in grade 11 biology, and still surprised for that matter. Gee, your planet is cut off from your sun. It's not that the sun is cold, it's that Earth doesn't reap the full benefit of the sun. Me, you're not kidding. Here I'm hearing Mercurians have to create technology-based climates because the sun is too hot, radiant, whatever. And we're back here freezing our butts off 6 months of the year. It doesn't make sense. They say it's because the equator is closer to the sun than zones at the top of the world? What difference does a few miles make? Gee, you're being lied to. It shouldn't make a difference. Me, so in fact if the polar ice caps melted, then we'd have a warm climate across the entire globe, which is more natural. Gee, yes. It is on other planets. Sol isn't weak or dying. Venus and Mercury have no polar zones. Mars is cold because it has no atmosphere in spots but there is life on Mars. Me, but the sun should still be able to heat these cold zones. Gee, it should. Earth's climate has more to do with wind circulation and there is little around the poles. Me, I still don't understand. Gee, it also has to do with your atmosphere. Me, oh I get it. Where there is atmosphere there is heat. Well, there's still atmosphere at the poles, unless it's a different atmosphere. Gee, yes, it will all be explained to you later. Global warming is nothing to fear. Me, anyway, Gladelia, I wanted to ask you something about being a former starseed on Earth and what it's like to live with that experience behind you. Gee, I'm still helping out Earth now. They call on me frequently to get information they need about the various doctrines and areas on Earth, particularly Africa. So once you're there, you never really leave. Me, oh. Gee, yes, I know you don't like it there. Me, I have found being here to be a very loveless experience. And it's love I've been seeking of course as we all do. That's just innate. Gee, you wouldn't have to look for it if you'd not been tampered with as you have on Earth. I see that many dark ones are being removed and heads of state are being addressed and arrested. Many are faking their own deaths as they are taken into custody. I'm glad to see this. Also Kennedy is back in a new body and will stand to take leadership in your future. He's still young. Me, that poor guy never gives up. LOL. Gee, well, it shows you can't kill a person. Ever. Me, so you're watching everything that's going on here with a lot of interest. Gee, we all do. This is battle between the light and the dark and Earth is simply the last stand for the dark. The entire cosmos will celebrate when it's cleaned up from your planet because it will have been completely dealt with at this point. Me, I know. Ashtar's been telling me. This is the Dark's Waterloo. Gee, we have no need of the experiences it has given us, because the entire galaxy is ascending. We're done with it. That level of malevolence isn't necessary for our wisdom to grow anymore. Isn't that wonderful? Me, that's great news. Gee, indeed. So we are watching with interest and helping out those we can. I guide my grandchildren, of course, and I am made to vicariously live my Earth life again and again through them. Me, family bloodlines will do that. Gee, we feel that Earth has changed so much, but it hasn't. It hasn't for eons. It's stayed the same, and that's not natural at all for the human experience. The human experience is change, not dormancy. Me, or stagnation. Gee, yes. Me, so do you see Akon a lot? Gee, I'm with him frequently. He is in your solar system and returns home often. He has a crew and they can monitor Sol's fluctuations as he takes some downtime. He's been at this for a very long time. Me, true. Is he watching Betelgeuse? Gee, yes. That too. Very interesting for him. This star is changing, it's evolving. All life evolves, really. Me, okay, Gladelia, please contact me if you've got something you need to discuss. I try to be available to do that for everyone, but yes, I am busy. So if you contact me rather than me contacting you for a discussion, I think that would work better. If there's something particular you'd like to discuss, I'm open to channeling about it. Gee, yes, thank you. Well, I do watch South Africa, so their business is of interest to me. Me, I just intuited that it might become the next big economy on Earth. Gee, well, Africa has been repressed under the regime of the Cabal, to be sure. With the white man in South Africa, this oppression has not changed, only gotten worse. Africa seeks balance and the Melionate seeks justice for wrongs committed against it. Of course you can surmise that Africans are oppressed because they retain memories of their ancestors. They retain the old wisdom still, and they cannot be repressed and manipulated as the white man has. Me, aha. Gee, so they have been made to suffer economic hardship, famine, and disease in order to oppress them. They are made the object of ridicule by other races for what they say about reality, when in fact they are correct, not ridiculous. Me, I've heard that before. Light workers get that too. Gee, so this is why they are targeted as a race. Because they cannot be reprogrammed as the white man can. And that's why the inbreeding between whites and the Melionate ones, to make them more susceptible to programming. Me, that's interesting. Gee, yes, they are a strong race. Me, can we discuss this again, Gladelia? Gee, yes, of course. Thank you.